Welcome back to our Elden Ring lore playthrough. Now we're going to go the opposite way from the Ainsel River Well. This is towards that tower thing that connects with a divine tower, or divine bridge, you know, both of them something. And see what's happening there. If we come along the path, you can see there are some noble dudes way down there. Obviously we skirted around them a little bit. Blue flowers, there's somebody shooting spells at us. Look at that gold that just like shimmers away. Oh, there he is. He's like invisible, that little jerk. There we go. Yeah, there's an invisible dude hiding out, casting spells at us. And look at these super vivid blue flowers. Like super blue. And we've seen things like that kind of before in the Liurnia Academy. There's a little beetle. Those type of blue flowers just seem to be around where magic is at. We see them at the Chapel of Vows as well, like where Radigan and Renala, you know, exchanged their vows and cleansed and all that stuff. Well, let's go ahead and take a look up in there. There's actually, hold on. If we look right here, see how there's a path. It goes along the side, and we can see there's some other section of road here. So maybe we can see something there first. There's like, I mean, it's a big old stretch of empty nothing. But there's a building over there, and you can just vaguely see the top of a jar, a big jar. So there's something over there, but we don't have a way down there from here. In we go. Look at that. The Carian Study Hall. Okay, so Carian. Not even like Raelocarian or anything, but like Carian, like the family, right? O celestial globe, transmit to posterity the wisdom of the moon and stars, and obscure forever the transgressions of the princess. Huh. Alright. Study hall. So yeah, this looks like, you know, kind of pews and benches where maybe somebody would come up and, I guess, listen to a lecture. We've seen kind of pictures like that before. I'm struggling to think of the place we've seen that before. But, I mean, there's a big old moon type thing. Makes sense given what he said. And if it's Carian, they're all about the moon. You know, stars too, but definitely more focus on the moon section. But it looks like they definitely just, like, moved in here, because like why would they have this big tree thing? Because that's not what they're about at all, right? Now this pedestal, something fits on the pedestal. Now the way this looks though is a lot like those sections where there are the statues of, like, I say statues, it looked like an hourglass, just like a person holding a globe, which maybe that globe, but before I was saying it looked like maybe a scrying glass or seeing orb, something like that, but maybe it's supposed to be a moon. And here is our good old sword boy, guys. Oh, super dark, of course. Happens every time. Just like we've seen before in the various divine towers or at the one divine tower we've been at and the bridge and stuff like that. Short lift up, in we go. Okay. Those chandeliers are much like the Academy of Raelocarian. And I mean, this whole internal section is very much giving off vibes like that. So even though a lot of it looks kind of like old, like it shouldn't be part of Raelocarian or part of the Carian thing, like they've definitely like made it their own. Hi. That's creepy. Those are nasty looking. I know as soon as I pull out the or my spyglass, I'm not going to be able to see the dude. Yeah, see how dark it gets? But look at those things. Nasty fingers. They got, I mean, it's like a big hand. It's got a ton of fingers on there. Nasty nails. It's got warty, nasty growth things on it, which reminds me of like when Godric was doing the grafting things. But they're moving, and I bet you as soon as we go there... Oh, no, there's... Oh, ghost dudes. Alright, so just like we saw outside of the, that walkway before, where there was, like, you know, soldiers fighting them. Oh, yeah, look at that dude. It looked, and you can kind of see where it looks like two hands are kind of, like, conjoined and spliced together. It looks like it's maybe has some ring. Nope. It's just nasty folds in the fingers. Huh. Pretty gnarly looking. But it's crazy that it's like severed, right? And it's still moving around. Super gnarly. I can't get freaking comfortable in my chair right now. Alright. Oh, I bet this looks like an ambush. I bet once we get over there, something's going to try and get us. Look at this water down there. Interesting. Now, that could be because we're right by the Ainsel River well. Huh. I wonder if there's connections there too, right? I mean, that one's not really close to... I mean, maybe... look at how much water is showing underground. Like, it's like a huge underground lake or river or something. Liar ahead. Huh. Uh-oh. Somebody's up there. There's lots of spells happening. Oh, shit. Oh, okay. That person has a big hat. And you know big hats mean that they are good wizards. They've got like a magic bow. They've got summons. Preceptor Miriam. Now, see that red name? We've seen that kind of red name before. That was with, whatchamacallit? The Moongrim Knight. The Carian Knight Moongrim. Teleporting away. Summoning more dudes to try and mess us up. We're not going to get stopped by that, though. It's just a bunch of the wandering, like, noble dudes. Like, they're, like, not big deals. We could probably just, like, run by them and be fine. There we go. Whoop. Now, that sorcery has to be a Carian one, right? Because, one, we're in a Carian place, a Carian Study. But, also, because that's just not the type of spell that the regular Ray and Lucarian sorcerers would use, because they're about, you know, the glintstone, the, you know, the, what do you call it, stars, comets, and stuff, where the Carian ones, they were doing, like, knight-like things, you know, the glint blades and phalanxes, and this is a bow, which then lines up perfect with that. That thing teleported. Okay, up there's a whole nother level. Huh. Let's go at these guys and take a look at this. Oh, there's like... I've seen this before as well. That was at the, you've seen something like this at the Church of the Cuckoo, right? This was up in the top, and there's like... I had almost... It looks like a bunch of children to me going towards like a mother-like figure, and you can see it up there at the top as well. And then there's a Carian glintstone staff. So we've gotten one like that before, right? It was the Carian glint blade. This is Carian glintstone. So this is one of the two types that would, given to sorcerers, that would enact the role of knight. Enhances Carian sword spells, while this enhanced glint blade sorceries. Enchanted knights, sorcerers that would might enact the role of the knight. Okay. A little bit of a distinction there, right? Alright, Miriam, we're gonna get you now. Oh, you jerk. There's a ladder. That's kind of cool. Okay, could you stop teleporting? I would really like that. This fucking jerk. Okay, please stop it. Stop running. Oh. Okay, I know you're like... She's just running around just so we can get all these summoned dudes up. Stop moving. What the hell, man? Stop it. Urgh. Is that the same ladder or a different one? There we go. Now we're good. Gotcha, you stupid sorcerer. Magic downpour. Alright, well, I guess we're going to get rid of these guys so we can look at the stuff in peace. One of the sorceries of the Carian royal family summons a massive magic that fires projectiles over a wide area. It can be cast in motion, and charging will extend its duration. Said to have been taught by the Crystallians to mark the swearing of an old concord. So some more with those Crystallians again. Some old Concord. So maybe they made a Concord with the Crystallians. Maybe they made some kind of, agreement with the Carian family. Now, I did mention, right, so at the beginning of this spot, there was that ghost and said something about hiding the transgressions of the princess. And I would like to know, like, what transgressions is he talking about? Like, what? I mean, it makes sense that there would be a princess because you have a Carian queen, the full moon queen, right? And then, and actually, Renala says as much too, right? Because this voice talks, right? When we get into phase 2 of the fight, and it's like, no one will disturb mother's rich slumber, right? So that's has to be her daughter, since she's talking about Renala, like her mother. And then, oh god, I'm gonna lose to these rats on this stupid bridge. But, she says by her name as Rani. And then, Renala says as much well. It talks about her weaving her night into being. And so what did she do that was like a big transgression? Like, what did she do? And another interesting thing about that as well, talking about weaving the night into being, you've got the, like, underground was like the eternal cities that live under some, like, false night. So, like, she's talking about weaving one into being. So is there a connection there between this, like, a false night and whatever, night that she wants to weave into being? Which then is another connection between, like, Caria or Raya Lucaria and the Eternal Cities, because we've also got the moon stuff where they're, the Carian family is all about this dark moon, or not about the dark moon. They're all about the moon, the full moon, right? And then the memory stones are talking about, like, this dark moon that used to hang over the Eternal City. Look at this dude as he's just, like, clinging on, it looks like. This better be a good item. It's probably a stone sword key. Cerulean Seed Talisman. Okay. So we have, like, an amber seed one, right? Crimson amber medallion. This is a cerulean one. Cerulean colored talisman, patterned after an Erd tree seed. Boosts FP restoration of the thing. The Erd tree was once perfect and eternal, and thus was it believed that Erd tree seeds could not exist. So it was once perfect and eternal. And that's why they believed it. Like, they were like, yeah, it's eternal. It can't die, so there shouldn't be seeds. But then, it shattered. Like, something happened to it, right? And it sensed the end was neat. Because, like, there's something wrong with it. I think it's dead in an illusion. Because you got these things found at the base of an illusory tree, which looks a lot like the thing. And when the Elden ring was shattered, the seeds flew from the Erd tree as if life itself knew that its end had come. I will also mention I've gotten this other one, a Viridian Amber one, which is pretty much the same as this blue, Crimson Amber one, right? Its old sap becomes amber, treasured as the most precious jewels. Same thing. Primordial life resides within. Now, I will say that I've got this other Blessed Dew Talisman. I got it from the Tower of Return, and maybe I'll plug something in there, because that was another one I just didn't really add in. But it depicts a drop from the Erd tree sap, a blessed boon. It was once thought that the blessed sap of the Erd tree would drip from its boughs forever, but that age of plenty swiftly came to a close, and with time, the Erd tree became more an object of faith. So, yeah, it kind of tracks along with this, where it thought it was once perfect and eternal, and believed it would, kind of stay that way, and there shouldn't even be seeds. And then this, it was like, oh, they thought like the, blessings would drip from it forever and ever, until it didn't, and it became more an object of faith, more of a just believe in it. You don't have to have, like, physical, tangible benefits from it. You should just automatically just believe, just think it's nice, right? Now, the thing is, though, oh, look at that. I was going to say, because, like, we get up to, in this study hall, it's a tower of sorts, and it should connect with this, which actually looks like it's broken. But there's been no way up. But if we look right there, it's like a spiral staircase, but it's hanging upside down. And that kind of fits in with some of the stuff we've seen down around the Sifa River well, where there's all these, like, structures basically hanging upside down. So there's something we're missing here, and it all I would say it all goes back like down to the bottom, like the entrance of this place where there's something that should go on that pedestal. So we're missing something that will make the rest of this kind of like click and, you know, complete. And there's also weird, creepy hands in here. Why are there weird, creepy hands in this place? Well, that'll be this one. There's not too much more we can do here, and not another place I can think of that I would like to go to right away to, like, you know, kind of tie in with this place. So, like, the only place I could think of, you know, there is a place. We're going to go somewhere. All right, so leaving from the temple quarter, kind of close to where the dragon was at, right under this whole academy, there is this sealed hole here. It takes 2 stone sword keys. Luckily, we've got plenty of those. And we're going to go in and we're going to check it out. Academy Crystal Cave. Budding Cave Moss. Now, there are some things, like, it would make sense that there were to maybe be an academy cave of sorts, or, like, maybe even a mine. It's not quite a mine, but there's a number of items, like the, let's see here. I mean, there's crystal cave moss, laced with fine crystals, has medicinal properties, but you've got cracked crystals used for crafting things found in crystal tunnels. You've also, I mean, you know, got all the, like, cuckoo glintstones and things, like, that you can throw. Right, glintstone scrap, large glintstone scrap, cuckoo glintstones, you know, all these things that are doing basically like faux spells and stuff. So it would make sense that they would have a cave. And look, there's large crystals that, like, I would say maybe they harvest or use for something. Except there are rats in here. Maybe it just hasn't been used in a while because, of course, the academy has been closed up. It's not like they can keep going in and out of this place because the place is sealed. So unless they actually have, you know, a key, none of the sorcerers are going in and out of this place. Also, that rat dropped a freaking rune arc, dude. Why does a rat have a rune arc? The only thing I can think of is, like, maybe, you know, rats are scavengers of a sort in here, it seems, and they're kind of nasty looking. Maybe they're going about and they've been, like, collecting things, like, and they just, like, happen to find it or fed off of a body. And look at that. It's a little conclave of sorcerers hanging out in the crystals. And look at these giant, massive ones. Hey, bud. Oh, they're twin sage dudes. Now, we know twin sage guys are a big deal in a way. Like, they're supposed to be of, like, the most prestigious conspectus or something, worthy of, you know, studying any kind of sorcery that they like, or multiple, right? And we've seen it as such, too. Like, when they do their spells, they don't do just regular little glintstone spells like that. We've seen them do these, like, spiraling arcs and stuff like that. All right, a little side path here. I saw the boss fog, so let's see. Barrels, items, looks like storage. Oh, somebody in a cage, though. Okay. What's he got? A stone sword key. Why is there a dude in a cage? Like, why is that dude imprisoned? Maybe he's a trespasser or something. He only had 1 key, too. Maybe he had more, and that's how he got in. Oh, it wasn't the boss fog. It just looked yellow, I guess. Okay. There's a door. Very much feels like some of the mine sections, right? Where you can go... Oh, that dude is different. Look, he's got a big ol', like, hood thing to his thing. A stone cudgel. He's big, too. Alright, let's get rid of the little dude. Because, I think I can focus on him then a little bit better. Oh, Lord. Please stop, sir. There we are. Alright, now we're under control. We'll get a little bit of health back and then use our thing. He has a red medallion, like, necklace thing on his chest. Where most of the other ones, right, they've got silver pendants on. I mean, and the dude is big. He's a lot more martial than all the other academy guys or sorcerers. And the only other one we've seen do that are still small, and they seem to focus on the Carian sorceries, like blade stuff, where that dude is like using a big stone club. And I mean, it makes sense that stone would be kind of something that they would use because, you know, they got the crown of stone, the crystallians, so crystal stuff. Oh, it's an armory. Owie. How do I get up there? Now we'll collect you. Rune arc. Happy days. Yeah, you know what? You got magic? I've got pots. Oh, I lost the lock on somehow. Yeah, screw you. Ah, illusory wall. Look at that. Okay. Got rid of him. Another item up here. A crystal staff. Whoa, okay. Let's see. A staff fashioned from pure crystal, a deed impossible for a human, enhances Crystallian sorceries. The Crystallian's faint cogitation is known as the Wisdom of Stone. This staff can only be wielded by those of intellect high enough to grasp such wisdom. Huh. Okay, so, I mean, maybe the sorcerers started fashioning the stone helmets and stuff because of their interactions with the Crystallians. Since they call it the Wisdom of Stone, they got the Crown of Stone. That's what the nobles are always all on and on about, because they want to have the privilege of donning that thing. And there's 2 Crystallians. Some of these can be pretty gnarly. Look at the thing that they're almost like guarding, I would say, right? It's like got the same statue things that we know go with the good old, Carian or Liurnia. I would like to block. There we go. A little bit more. There we go. Nice. So see how they're crystals. They've got red cloak on, but they have no actual clothes other than that. This dude's using a spear. The other dude is obviously some kind of sorcerer. Now, the properties of them are a lot like the stone miners and stuff, because when you go hitting them, a lot of the time, your attacks just bounce off. And this is the same thing because of the material they're made out of. But these guys crack and break. They're so weird though. It's just the way they're attacking and stuff. Yeah. Now, I guess he could be guarding this because they're, in alliance with the Academy, and they're, vaunted guests. They're very sacred or important to them, Ow, that hurt a lot. So, and he's using, yep, see the Crystallian staff. Okay. Howie. Seal up. Huh. What kind of poses? I don't know what else to kind of get from them for right now. I think they both kind of appear sort of, I would say, male, but at the same time, I mean, they're crystals, so there is probably not really any kind of gender to them. Crystal release. Sorcery of the Mysterious Crystallians. Creates a massive crystal, then shatters it to scour a wide area of violent rain of crystal shards. This sorcery is used by high-ranking adepts among the Crystallians. Some also call this sorcery the Crystal Sun. Huh. And so the Shattering Crystal says they're inorganic beings, yet they live. They cleave close to the ideas of the primeval current. So the primeval current seems to have something to do with crystals, I would say. If the Crystallians are close to the idea, they have to do with crystals. And then so what does the primeval current have to do with the stars? I mean, but this thing says Crystal Sun, and a sun is supposed to be a star, so maybe that is the connection there. The crystals and stars are maybe one of the same, especially when you consider that glintstone, a kind of crystal shard, is supposed to be part of the residual life of stars or something along those lines. And now we take this elevator. It goes way up. This is a doorway they were guarding, and I mean, the structure is very much like the Academy. And where did we go? We were underneath the Academy, went into a cave, and it was the Academy Crystal Cave. And then maybe it's called the Crystal Cave because of the Crystallians. Finally slowing. See exactly where we're at. We're in the center of the place. Academy of Liurnia. We are way up here. Oh, bell tower. Okay, so I think this might have been the actual bell tower I'd seen, maybe, when wandering around originally. Terra Magica. Yeah, I mean, look how high up we are compared to the rest of it. That right there must be the, yeah, that's the library, the Carian Grand Library, where Renala's at. Yeah, we're way up there, dude. Huh. It would have been really cool if this was like somehow another secret way you could get into the academy. Like we kind of do, but there are a couple places and like locations in this game that like give you sneak peeks into other locations via like high up vistas and the like. And so this is one of them. But Terra Magica, one of the Glintstone Academy or sorceries of the Academy, creates a small. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong one. Oops. Terra Magica. There we go. Sorry, the picture is like the exact same as Starlight. Yeah, one of their things draws an academy sigil on the ground, raising the magical strength of those within. Once, the sigil would be cast from the highest belfry of the academy, covering the entire institution's grounds. This spell allows such vivid experience of spellcasting success, it turns many a fledgling into a true sorcerer in a flash of newfound understanding. Man, so like, can you imagine, like, so you would have had some dude up here who would cast this thing and like everybody over this entire academy would be enhanced and then like just have a greater understanding, like see beyond, the wisdom of stone and the primeval current and stuff. Because even like Azur's staff, says something about like seeing beyond stuff and gaining greater wisdom. That could have been a cool mechanic in game too. Can you imagine if like every now and then like this like whole academy wide spell went off and like buffed people, but if you went up in here first and you got rid of some sorcerer person who was casting it, then that wouldn't happen at the academy anymore. That would be kind of a cool mechanic. Yeah, that's going to be it. We checked out the Carian Study and then we found this Belfry Tower place. It's pretty cool stuff, man. Next one, I feel like doing some lake stuff. We're going to do some lake exploration around here. I think that's going to be the next one. But thanks for checking it out. Always appreciate it when you guys do. Hope you enjoyed it. Give you some food for thought, all that kind of stuff. And just like always, until the next one, take care.